Hey everyone, welcome back to Gas Under Pressure. So what we're going to do today, we're going to do a light up, and you may have noticed a couple of little stoves sitting here on the bench, and you also may have noticed that Gas Under Pressure has finally gone bougie. We have a granite countertop on here to kind of cover up the dirty desktop that we've had and been using here for years. This actually, I discovered that I had it stored on another bench when we redid our kitchen, and I was like going, well, hey, this is a pretty nice fireproof surface. As you know, we know in the past it's kind of been necessary. So maybe not so friendly as to drop globes, but you got to take the good with the bad. So anyway, what we got here is a collections of Svea or Svea, or man, don't count me out on my pronunciation, but it's a Swedish camping stove, and these are self-pressurizing stoves, and I have got a lot of them now. So how this happened, gee, I don't know. I mean, I think I got the first one, and then they just kind of started multiplying, as it happens with many different kinds of collections. So they're pretty cool. So there's actually two types here, and we're going to take you through a couple of things on these and how they work and what they do and how to kind of get them to do what they're supposed to do and all that other kind of good stuff. So so let me just open this up and we'll start taking a look at what it is that we've got in here. Right now we got a little bit of carbon. This one right here is the regular 123. I've got three 123s and one 123R. So this is another 123, and this is another 123. It's missing the burner plate, or the flame spreader, and this is a 123R with a little additional grate on there, which you may recognize as a computer fan grate. So anyway, so we're going to take this one here that doesn't have the burner plate. It's not going to, well, it does have the fuel cap I want to show you. So we'll kind of set this to the side for the moment. But if you're trying to understand what the difference is between the 123 and the 123R is, you just have to take the top off and take a look and see what you got. So when you do that, take this key fully out of here. Set this aside. Of course, now I've got carbon black all over me. Hey, I turned stabilization on the head cam on, so hopefully that makes everyone a little bit less nauseous. So we'll see if that actually works or not. Right, so this is the 123R, and take the key out of this one. That's not actually the original key that came with it either, but that is it. So right, so we can take a look at these and we can say, these are different, because the valves look very, very different. One comes straight out, one goes angled down, one is quite a large key, and the other one is really quite small. So the difference with these is that the way these work is that they're, like I said, they're self-pressurizing. You fill them with fuel, and they run on Coleman fuel, and you can warm them with your hands to build up enough pressure inside, and then you can open the valve. Some of that fuel will run over into this well here. You can ignite that. It'll continue to heat and pressurize until you have a fully roaring flame. And of course, the whole process of doing that gets lots of carbon black all over you. So I probably have it on my nose now because I think I wiped my face. So if I do, enjoy, I guess. Anyway, so that is how that works. Now, the difference is with these is that obviously the key goes right in here, and it opens and closes just like you'd expect a key to do. Now, with this one here, with the 123R, the difference is that if you look inside here, and it'll be difficult to see, but if I turn it all the way to the left, there is a small cleaning needle that pops up out of the middle of that. And you turn it to the right, and that's fully on. Somewhere in the middle between those those two is the off position. So so it's a little different in terms of figuring out exactly, well, what is on and what is off. So yeah, so in the middle is off, to the left is clean, to the right is full on. So that is kind of how that works. So this one, when I got it, didn't have this burner basket, so I got that, and then I rated the flame spreader from one of these over here. I just need to get another flame spreader, but for some reason they're stupidly expensive. Like this little tiny flame spreader. This is $26, 26 bucks for this thing. It's just a stamped piece of brass. So at any rate, it is what it is. And if you want it, then you're gonna, you're gonna have to pay for it. So that is kind of where we're at. And I'm just getting progressively more filthy. So, so that is that. Now, the other thing you may notice is that these fuel caps, they all look a little bit different. And this one over here is no exception. This one, I believe, is an aftermarket one, which I, whoops, nope, not that one. That's yet another variation. This one here is the aftermarket one. And this one I can kind of take apart and show you what it's all about, because it's easy to disassemble. So what these have in them is a pressure safety valve in the middle. And that is what this is. So all of these here can be unscrewed and fixed. So you can see that there's a gasket in here right here, which is what everyone sees. Like, okay, that's a gasket, it's great. But what you can't see is that there's a little rubber pip that's inside here, and it's spring loaded. That seals this until it gets to pressure that's too high, and then it will vent. It will vent out through the middle of this, and you'll start to see a little candle flame coming out of that. And when that happens, it's like, okay, time to turn the stove off, let it cool down, because you've overpressured it. So I basically, the deal with these is that you screw them in until you just can't see the threads, or there's like one thread showing. They're really persnickety about about how these are, because it is a safety device, so they don't really tell you a whole lot about how, they say don't ever do this because we can't guarantee the safety. Okay, fair enough, you can't. But this is what it looks like. So if I tap this out of here, we'll see here is the little rubber pip. This one here is a little shallow, so it may not seal as well as it should. This aftermarket one, I think the cup is a little bit too deep, so this one is going to be a little iffy. It might need to have a little piece of spacer put behind it, little piece of gasket material or something like that to do it. But you can see that once this little pip is out of here, there's a hole right through it, and you just blow straight through the thing. So this one also, the way this pip is designed, it had a hole through it, and whoever had it before wasn't really sure how it worked and didn't have a replacement pip, so they had put an O-ring in there, and of course the fuel just goes right through the middle through the hole, and that didn't work either, so it needed that pip. So at any rate, you put that in there, you put the spring on it, and then you push it in there, and then you just kind of twist it down until you really can't see the threads anymore. About like, that's probably a little bit much, so maybe about like that, and that's pretty much it. So that is how that works. Now these have got a pentagonal socket in them. This one does, and this one does. This one I have put some pretty good apprentice marks on, because I did not realize at the time that they put a thread locker in there. So I had a pentagonal tool that fit this, which then promptly rounded it out because the brass is soft. There's a thread locker in there, and sadness ensued. So the deal is with these is that this whole center piece, if you don't mind putting some wrench marks on it, you can unscrew it and replace the pip and get it to function again. And that's exactly what I did. So this is a real unit, and you can see how that pip sticks out nicely instead of the brass being exposed. So this one seals perfectly, and I don't have any problems with it whatsoever. So that part is good. So that is the deal. So what I had to do to be able to get this apart, you may be wondering, is that I removed the gasket, and then thread locker does not like heat. And I haven't put any back on here, and I will, but nonetheless, it doesn't like heat. So if you heat this up, you will get the thread locker to break down, and then eventually, and I tried using a piece of leather around it, but it slipped, etc., whatever, and but it did eventually come loose. I was able to replace the pip, and then we're good to go. So this one's got fuel in it right now, and it will fire up just fine. So this is one. So this is the one. This is the 123. So we'll probably fire this one. The other one I want to fire, we don't need to do this one because it's missing parts and pieces. We'll set it off to the side. This one is just a dupe of what we've seen before, so we'll set it off to the side. Which leaves us with the 123R and the 123. They both have fuel in them. It's interesting how these work. There is, on the back side of this, there is a wick, and the wick goes down into the fuel. And so when you fill these up, you have to wait a moment for that wick to bring that fuel up there, or you turn it upside down and get it to work that way. Now, what I should have done is that I should have grabbed some fuel. Oh, I have denatured alcohol right here. Oh, this is perfect. And I have a little bitty cup that I can use to spill it into, and so we can start the lighting process here, and be thankful that I've got this this nice granite top that doesn't catch on fire, which is good. Okay, so there's that. And I was looking through my chest of many drawers right here in front of me, and I ran into an eyedropper. Yeah, here it is. It's like, well, that would be pretty handy. And the rubber still works, so this is great. So I can use the eyedropper to kind of fill this up. So right now, this is set to on. That is off. So somewhere in the middle is the actual off. I'm sorry, the other direction was clean. So I'm gonna just put the eyedropper of the denatured alcohol right here. And yes, you don't have to start it this way. I am, because I want to have results now. So you guys can actually see what's going on. So we're going to start that one off that way. I'm going to do, and you see it, they start quite quickly, as I'm almost catching on fire. So yeah, they will kind of do this a little bit. I think I need to turn that off some. Yeah, there we go. So we'll let that die down a little bit. Yeah, you have to be comfortable with a little bit of fire with these. So let it continue to heat up. Make sure I've got that all screwed down tight. Well, it was making some noise before. There it goes. So these are definitely roarer burners, and it'll take a moment for it to build up enough pressure in there for it to really start ripping away, but it'll get to going here in just a bit. So we'll let that one kind of sit here and do its thing. Make sure I got this where it needs to be. There we go. And then we'll do the same thing with this one here. One thing I've also discovered is, like, try not to leave the key attached, because then it will definitely get extremely hot, and you will not be happy about that. So okay, so here's the regular 123 getting started. I'm kind of wondering if I might have a little bit not enough fuel in that one. We'll see. Yeah, it usually doesn't take much for these things to kind of get going. Yeah, this one drew up fuel really quickly. I don't know why this one is being kind of persnickety like this. We'll maybe run the cleaning needle a couple of times. This one I think I can just open. That one should just take off. Yeah, so a little bit of puffing here to get started, but we'll let it go. But it'll smooth out here in a bit. I was keep hoping this one would kind of smooth out. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but whoops. Yeah, they're both kind of chugging along a little bit here. Maybe it needs a little more preheat on it. There we go. Build a little pressure in the tank. Yeah, so there we go. So now we're just sitting here just burning. Actually, I think I mentioned heptane here is what I've got these things running on. So burns nice, burns clean, and does what it's supposed to do. But yeah, they're really quite hot. They're also really quite loud. So you're not going to be able to do these in the middle of the night. But nonetheless, they are pretty cool. So that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to show you. A couple of differences between those. Things about the fuel caps to look for. Starting them up is generally pretty easy. I think this one probably just needed a little bit more fuel because, this is how it normally starts. This one started off real nice and quick, just like it's supposed to. And they'll just keep ripping right along. But that is pretty much... This is the story. That's it. That's all I got. If for some reason you guys are going to be at the International Coleman Collectors Conference in Ohio coming up here at the end of this, not the end of this week, but it's the end of next week, you might be able to see me there. So if you do, stop by, say hello. I'll be wandering around. I don't have a table or a booth or anything like that. But, if you do see me, don't be afraid to come up and say hello. Hope to see you there. Y'all take care. Until next time, keep them lit.